with Leslie Eleanor at RePurpose It in Washington, Iowa. How are you?
Good. How are you this morning?
Good. So what's chalk paint?
Chalk paint is this incredible type of paint that is very different from a latex. It has absolutely no latex in it, doesn't require a primer, and in most cases you're just going to clean the piece with soapy water and start painting, no primer.
Wow.
Yeah, and very little sanding, and then it's self-leveling, and you can manipulate it and layer it and try different techniques with it that allows you to create a one-of-a-kind piece. The brand that I represent, Annie Sloan Chalk Paint, is what I call the Cadillac version of chalk paint. You'll have many that are chalk-like paints that work, and they're fine, but if you truly want to ride in a Cadillac, it is the best paint to use. I'm a little biased, but it's a very rich, thick paint that is absolutely beautiful. So what we're hoping to do is just kind of get that word out more and drive more people to come in and do our DIY experience workshops and teach them how to use it and the benefits of it.
All right, we're here at RePurpose It.
Yeah.
And I'm going to learn a new skill. What am I learning today?
You're going to learn how to chalk paint.
Nice. This will be fun.
So this is a coffee table that we're working on, and what we're doing here is we're layering the top of it. Initially, this coffee table looked like this piece of furniture over here. So just kind of something that needed some refreshing. We did nothing other than wash it with soapy water.
Okay. Did you sand it?
And we didn't sand previous,
Okay.
but we started sanding a little bit with the process.
Okay.
So this technique is layering, and we're kind of making this look like it's an aged piece.
Nice.
And so just for tips for painting or first-time painters, it's a great way to hide little mistakes. Chalk paint is very forgiving.
Okay.
So if you don't do it right the first time, you have the opportunity to just paint right over it again.
Keep going.
The nice thing is, and you can feel if you rub your hand across it, that it feels like one coat of paint instead of several. And I apologize, we've been sanding it, so you might have some dust on your hands.
It's okay. It's okay.
And so we do create a lot of dust in this place due to the chalk paint. It's low in VOCs, so you do not have to have a ventilated room. It's a great do-at-home DIY project on the weekend, wintertime, summertime, outside. It's very versatile.
Now, do you sell the paint here too?
We do.
You sell the paint, and you can probably pick up a nice something to repurpose, right?
Yes.
While you're here?
Yep, absolutely. We have several DIY pieces that are just very nice pieces, but maybe a little ugly right now. They need some TLC. We get a lot of college students, young first-time home buyers that are collecting pieces that may not match. So they want to create some cohesiveness with them, and you can do that with chalk paint.
Nice.
Regardless of the surface, you can make it look a little more like it all matches together.
Fantastic.
It's a fast drying paint, so you can paint your first coat, second coat, and be done in a couple of hours time with probably waiting for it to be waxed. I'm opening, this is cocoa. We have 44 different colors of chalk paint available, and I'm using one of the Annie Sloan barrel brushes. I love these because they hold a lot of paint.
I don't know that I've ever seen a barrel brush before.
They're natural bristle.
Okay.
They'll hold a lot of paint. If you notice, if you hold that paint up, it's nice and thick.
Yeah.
Now most
And
people,
it's not dripping.
Nope. No, most people feel or think that you really have to work the paint since it's so thick. Well, you don't. It's kind of a light touch. We're gonna get rid of some of that dust that we created in sanding. And all we're gonna do, we have put a first coat of cocoa on this.
Okay.
And then we applied some of the old white. and then we added some more cocoa and a little bit more white. That's what we're doing. We're just creating layer after layer to make it kind of look old age.
Right.
We'll eventually finish this with a darkening wax, and it'll be a beautiful piece that someone can take home. And I'm going to give this to you, and all you're going to do is kind of brush in areas where you still see some of the wood.
Okay.
And you don't care what it looks like. It tends to go through a little bit of an ugly phase.
Just anywhere.
Just anywhere. And you just kind of move it slowly around.
Okay. But I don't want to go straight. I want spaces.
You want to create some spots. And as it'll start drying immediately with application. One thing that you want to be careful with chalk paint is to not just keep going over and over in the same spot.
Which is what I'm doing.
Yep, you just want to keep moving it.
Okay. You know, this is actually a lot of fun. I think you could take out some aggression on it. Yeah, fun.
And then we're just gonna keep looking around the piece anywhere where we feel like we need to darken it a little bit. We're creating a little bit of shading on the piece.
Now, do you always go the same direction with chalk paint, or do you?
Depends on the piece.
Okay,
the nice
and for this one, do you kind of, are you going every which way?
We're kind of following a little bit of the movement of the grain or the lines that we've created.
Nice.
And as you can see, it doesn't matter that we have some dust on there. It's just gonna kind of move that away.
Well, I think there we go. Thought maybe I was out of paint there.
And what we're gonna do next, while you're working with that cocoa, I'm gonna use some of the white. I'm gonna use a thinner brush, little chippy brush.
Okay.
And I've put some paint on it. I'm gonna kind of wipe it out a little bit because I don't want a lot on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of come in behind you and notice how we're blending that.
That is fantastic.
And all of a sudden, that area that you covered up,
that looked very, very brown.
that looked very brown. Yep.
Yep.
We're just kind of blending those two colors together, and real light, soft. Again, I'm not dragging that paintbrush. I don't have to. And then I'm going to re-dip, add a little bit more paint. This is the best part of the paint, is that you can go back and highlight some areas and create a little bit of definition, a little bit of contrast, whatever you're working with color-wise, and allow that to dry. And then our finish coat is going to be waxing it. Wax is a natural conditioner.
Okay.
Chalk paint is dry after it's done and applied, and so the wax will seal it and condition that wood so that it doesn't dry out
So it doesn't
over
look
time.
dry,
Yep.
right? It looks. And then I see you have classes.
Yes.
So this is probably something you teach in your classes?
Yes, you can come and enjoy several different types of classes. We have a workshop where you just learn technique and fundamentals with using chalk paint. So if you're a brand new person to it, that's the best class to take. We spend time, I show it, you do it, we review it. That's the way I like to teach our workshops.
And then, so did they bring in pieces of their own, or did they just learn on stuff you have here?
For that workshop, we work on sample boards.
Okay.
And you get to use several different color options and different techniques, and you'll take a lot of notes. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour class. Then typically what I recommend is I follow up with a class where you bring a piece of furniture.
Okay.
So if you can hand carry it in, like that small table over there, or even this coffee table, you bring it in, and we'll, through guided workshop, I'll help you finish it from start to finish.
How can people find out about these classes?
We are on Facebook and we're on Instagram. I'm terrible about posting classes, so most people can call us. We get so busy doing them that and that's part of the problem. I do teach every class that comes through here, whether it's a chalk paint learning class, learn how to paint your kitchen cabinets, or our DIY sign classes.
Fun.
And so
you probably
we do
multiple a month?
We do. We actually do several a week.
Nice.
Next week, I think we have 4 classes already scheduled.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so we stay busy with that. And outside of our scheduled classes and private parties, we'll do private parties, but we'll also do event-driven activities as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, everybody needs to come to Repurpose It and take a class.
So what'd you think?
I think this place is awesome. I think I could probably get in a lot of trouble.
Well, that's why I told them not to tell anything to my wife because she's got tons of do-it-yourself projects, and I don't want her learning how to do it because then it'll be even worse.
Right? Sarah Lumsden, I'll meet you here in a week.
Just perfect. So, but yeah, they got cool stuff, and the fun thing is, it started out of a hobby.
Yeah.
And so many entrepreneurs do that. People have hobbies, things they're good at that you wouldn't know about.
That is what I love about right now in time, because entrepreneurship is like the thing to do. And if you have an idea, you can make it a business. And look at how, everything she loves is represented in her business here.
Yeah, well, and her husband is represented here too. He does the plumbing and heating side of it. And that's how she got started, is being his bookkeeper, which she still does. But she does all this on the side. She must have more than 24 hours in the day, because I don't see how she does it all with so many classes. And
maybe she's a robot and doesn't need to sleep.
Maybe there's several of her. But this is what's great, because people have that ability to do this stuff. They can make it work. And she talks about how, through COVID, she was able to do different shifts and stuff. And I think that's great. It gives a great experience for people, and it shows them what's possible.
Well, and you can tell she loves her space too. Even the workshop, she's taken the time to lay everything out. These benches we're sitting on, everything is thought about and placed in the right spot. And she's just a delight to be talking to and working with. She'll teach you whatever you need to know, I think, too.
Well, and she's very easy. You can tell she works a lot with beginners, but you can also tell she has a skill set to teach a lot of advanced people too. Just the way she was teaching you, that there's some different mechanisms on how you can learn this stuff.
And Washington seems like a great little town to come, and I bet there's lots of stores here that we could find.
Yeah, so hopefully that you'll visit RePurpose It in Washington soon.